Greetings and welcome back once again. So, let us see, without further ado, what has happened this turn. He continues to pull back, by the looks of it anyway. All things considered, that was a fairly, wouldn't say ineffective barrage of artillery, but in the grand scheme of things, it was fairly ineffective. The Prussians continue to set up along the stream. I will probably... These boys might rout after getting their faces blasted in, but... all things considered, I am still fairly happy with my overall progress. It looks like he's going to throw out a skirmisher screen. Yeah. Makes sense. He wants to prevent my pursuit from catching up to him. So, throw out a skirmisher screen. Alrighty. Continuing to pull back his Cossacks. What for, I am not entirely certain. And then throws out yet more skirmishers. And some more cavalry, for that matter. Ah, there's more Russian infantry coming up. That's a lot of Russian cavalry. Yeesh. Oof. Those boys... I might just have to move behind the ridge again. Cheeky. Bombarding me from the opposite bank. Very cheeky. Alright, 5 units rout over here specifically. So, 98. So, 4 units undisordered out of 7. No one rallied. 1 unit recovers fatigue. 5 units rout. First of the 28th Leger. Second of the 6th Leger. Combined howitzers. Leger and Leger. So, yeah, it's all yeah, they rout. They rout. And then these skirmishers likewise. That was rather unfortunate, but... Because now I can't unlimber these guns, so... Before I do anything else, actually, let's deal with the artillery, shall we? Shoot them. What's shooting? Oh, the heavy guns that are up there. It's not going to do the greatest amount of damage. It's not going to do any damage really at that range, but you never know. And then these boys will shoot at... we'll shoot at them. And so it begins. Unfortunately, with these lot being essentially Mary Louises, they're a little brittle. Still, all things considered, Brea's division is in a decent spot, all things considered. It's just a case of looking to get him rallied. Let's throw out some more skirmishers, because I can. You can still shoot, so you'll shoot over there. General Seneschal will look to clear these woods. Alright, let's bring up these guns a little bit more to, say, there. Unlimber them here as a way to just essentially dominate the position. The Italian horse guns will open fire on this lot. Are they perfectly set up? Absolutely not. Are they effectively set up? Probably not. But they are set up. That is the key thing here. I will throw forward the skirmishers again. With General Simir. Advance. I sort of got to advance into the woods, don't I? Unfortunate, to say the least. Alright, shoot at them. And then Lederer himself will come up with his reserves. Bring up the remaining troops. The Italian chasseurs. You know what? I think I'm going to break this, quote, escort element that I had for Lederer down and bring up the Neapolitan chasseurs, tuck them behind the guns for two reasons. One of which is so they can potentially take advantage of an opportunity should it arrive. Advance up to there, and then here comes the remaining Again, I'm losing quite a few men to the artillery fire as I march up, as there's not much I can damn well do about it. Given just the sheer amount of Allied artillery. Still, all things considered, I am actually happy with my overall quote progress. As I have Delmas, Brea. I have both Delmas and Brea currently set to hit them head on. General Shutter will go there. These are the elements of Exelmans. So if I move, let's get the Baden troops forward again. Ninth Hussars will push up. Fifth Hussars, more men of the 9th. The 4th Lancers. And then we'll bring this lot up as well. Not quite what I wanted to do, but it works. Let's see. I could potentially charge, but I don't know what that is, so... What is it? Is it 100 men, 400 men, 700 men? I do not know. That's my issue. More importantly, I don't really want to be charging into the midst of 6,000 Cossacks. As unsurprisingly, charging into 6,000 Cossacks is somewhat of a bad idea. So for now, however, what I will do is I will bring up the various elements of my cavalry. Are you all in command? Yes, you are. General Domelin will bring up his division. This division will continue to move forward. So Rickard is continuing to advance. very nicely, which will also allow General Soyam still remains in effective command of 4 of his 5 divisions, so could he be in a better position? Could the Corps be deployed better? Sure. Is it broken and needs immediate redoing? No. Now, the question is what to do with this brigade under Domaget. I might... Yes, I think I am. I'm going to actually throw General Domaget's brigade forward. So while he could charge their flank, it's another question of, does he really want to be charging them? And then we bring up the horse guns. And last but not least, the heavy cavalry elements will come up. As they will be used sort of following behind General Delmas, sort of in the gap between General Delmas and General Brea. th Chasseur, and then the rest of Exelmann's cavalry. Sebastiani is in effective command, so no need to panic or riot just yet. I've managed to move these two a bit too far apart. Oh well. Still, what's my losses at? Nearly 1,000. Again, mostly from this artillery fire. What are they? 2nd East Prussian. Fusiliers of the 2nd East Prussian IR3. Now, on the opposite bank, what do we want to do? I am partial to just withdrawing, essentially. But for now... And I will actually pull these boys. Well, behind these guns, just to give them some sort of cover. It's not really giving them cover, it's just screening them, nothing. Not much more. Bringing up the 3rd. 6th chasseur. I could. I still don't want to overcommit to my ensuring of the breakthrough. Or rather, I don't want to overcommit to Loriston's corps to... I had no idea where I was going with that train of thought. Ugh. I do not want to commit Loriston too early, because again, I commit him too early and I'm just going to pay for it. They are still guarding there. So yeah, I think for the most part, we're nice and comfy. As grand a battery as this is it going to stop me? I don't believe it will. If for no other reason than just sheer damn mass. So they are in a nice spot to follow up. So yeah, I think that's it for that part. The Prussians are definitely in a bind because they're at risk of being trapped against the river, given the way I'm swinging. Given the way my army has swung in echelon, he is at risk of getting trapped against the river, so... We'll be fighting them out of these woods and paying a bloody price for it. But it might, just might, get me a nice springboard in these woods. We'll set them to max, just so if he moves, he's going to get shot in the face. And then next turn, this division is going to go full bore to hit this chunk of the line. At which point, it looks like there's going to be a big-ass cavalry scrum here, which, me being in my sort of bizarre formations, gives me one big advantage. He'll have to hit one unit, and then he'll be sort of disordered, which will allow these follow-on units to hit him. Plus, it's just giving the cavalry room to manoeuvre. My biggest concern at the moment is General Brea's division. Will Brea's division give way under this massed barrage of artillery that's obviously going to be coming? We shall see. Over here, I'm not that concerned, despite the very thinned out... Well, it's not even thinned out, it's just extended. So, extended Prussian land there, with some artillery support. Some decent artillery support, mind you, but some... same here. Extended lines, artillery support. We'll have to see. Because if he's not careful, I do see the opportunity to hit this exposed position here. If those Russians stay there, essentially, this division is going to swing this way and look to hit him in the side. Which, while I'll probably get shot in the face in the process, by hitting them in the flank, it will cause a cascade rout, hopefully, because they'll have to run into either one of these hexes or that hex. Any one of these three. If they run into these two, it's going to disorder and upset his line, which will allow the follow-on forces to exploit. Still, this is the situation for now. And I think, for the most part, despite my 1,000 casualties near enough, to his not even 100, well, barely even 100, all things considered, I am actually happy. My losses have been mostly from artillery fire. Matter of fact, they've all been from artillery fire. So, still. And then there was quite a few casualties pushing them out of this wood. Or pushing them back through it. Which makes sense. Which is why I might have the Naples Elite Regiment go into there and start clearing it out. Or the Italian Leger. Probably the Italian Leger, they're just better. And just commit them to clearing the woods. But for now, I thank you all for watching. I hope you have enjoyed. If you have, please consider hitting that thumbs up, subscribing, or leaving a comment. Let me know how you think the scenario's going. And I will also start uploading this now because I have gotten far enough ahead in the turns that, well, it can be played fairly nicely. So, you will soon see the first episode of this coming out. So, I hope to see you all again. But until next time, bye-bye for now.